First, only the businesses that pose the lowest risk will reopen. I have asked business leaders, healthcare leaders, labor leaders, and experts in industrial hygiene to help make recommendations on which workplaces present the least risk of spreading COVID-19. The My Safe Start plan will take into account various sectors of our economy, geographic and workplace risk, as well as our public health abilities and workplace protocols so that we can mitigate that risk.
That is your governor, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, talking to the state yesterday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we've got it for you here today in the Megacast as businesses in the state of Michigan look like they're getting ready to open up in one form or shape. We'll talk about that on the program. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Dave Scott. Tyler Keefe is with us as well. He'll be in the studio in just a couple of moments. We thank you for joining us all across Oakland County. I'm just getting my mic set up here and getting us on the air here in the Megacast. Not easy. A lot of buttons we have to hit. We are on Civic Center TV, channel 15 in the West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, Kegel Harbor, and Sylvan Lake area. Also on channel 15 on Comcast in the Birmingham area Municipal Access, Birmingham, Bingham Farms, Beverly Hills, and Franklin. You can also go to AT&T if you're an AT&T subscriber. Go to channel 99 and tune in right there and watch us. Go to the West Bloomfield link on channel 99 and you'll find us. Easy way to tune in and see everything that's going on is to go to civiccentertv.com, civiccentertv.com. Check in there and you will find our video playing in full high definition on the internet. And then a lot of people like to tune in on the radio as they're doing what they're doing across our area. We've got not one, not two, but three great radio stations. You can tune in to the program today. 89.3 Lakes FM in the West Bloomfield, Kegel Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Commerce Township, Waterford area. 88.1 WBFH, The Biff in Bloomfield Hills, broadcasting from Bloomfield Hills High School. Ron Whittable out there. We thank you very much for getting us on the air and making this happen each and every day. And then WAHS 89.5, Avondale Community Radio. Logan pressing all the buttons. Tyler, did you get all the buttons pressed okay over there at WAHS today?
Yep, they did. They're all fully on the air with us.
Beautiful. So wherever you happen to be, thank you for tuning into the Megacast. Started as a little show, and then we just grew it across Oakland County. We thank you for being a part of it. Also, a nod today to the Bloomfield Township Fire Department, who has joined us via Facebook Live, and they're sharing the broadcast on Facebook Live today. We're going to talk to Mike Moore in a couple of minutes, the Bloomfield Township Fire Chief, via Zoom right here on the Megacast. So an awful lot going on today, Tyler. Governor, yesterday, you heard a little soundbite a minute or two ago. Governor, yesterday, holding a press conference at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And she must have wanted to get lined up for the evening news cycle. It's good strategy by the governor. Or they just needed that much time to pull her information together. She's been working with business leaders to come up with a plan to get business open again. We'll hear cuts from her in just a couple of minutes. So that's one of the big headlines today. In addition, other stories that we are watching, we have a new report with new symptoms on the coronavirus. I'll run those down for you in just a minute. We have a new Michigan mortgage relief program giving you a 90-day grace period on your mortgage if you are a homeowner, and that could be a big, big, big help for a lot of people listening today. As they do open businesses in this new plan, it's called the Michigan Safe Start Plan. There's so many plans. They all have their own name. Maybe we should put these plans in our coronavirus vocabulary, Tyler, so we can keep them all straight. Add Michigan Safe Start Plan. That's the plan to get businesses open. And right at the top of the list, something that has been a concern to a lot of folks, getting home construction going. Why not? You're outside. You can probably keep that social distancing in place. So that might be one of the areas that gets ramped up first. New information from the health officials statewide. We are now seeing reporting from nursing homes. Very important numbers for us to get. We'll talk a little bit about that today. And then, of course, Governor working on asking the legislature for a 28-day extension to her ability to invoke emergency orders here in the state of Michigan. On a side note, couple of community announcements, Tyler, in our key communities. Road construction. Somehow road construction gets ramped up no matter what's going on. I mean, I think we could all be gone and the crickets could be the only thing left and there'd be orange barrels on the road.
That's the classic adage of the fifth season in the state of Michigan, and that's construction season. Never stops.
So my drive's going to be a mess. I'll tell you, I'm not going to share my personal transportation dilemma and story because it's too crazy. But Birmingham, folks listening and watching in Birmingham today, they're really close to shutting down Maple Road right through downtown Birmingham. We're going to find out exactly what that is. And then Maple Road's been shut down as well, if I'm correct, right at Middlebelt Road. And I think they've already done that, Tyler. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Yes.
I'll double check.
Okay. One other note for our West Bloomfield residents, we wanted to make sure you knew that the Hazardous Waste Day that was scheduled for the 2nd of May has been postponed. And I've been talking to a lot of superintendents, as we always have in the show, about graduation ceremonies. And they're trying to figure it all out. They got their hands full right now trying to figure out exactly how all this is going to work. So we will get some more information on that coming up for you as we know a little more. Did you hear? Did you hear the president yesterday when he was on the phone? I think he was on the phone with all of the governors around the country, and he said, "So why don't you guys just open up school again?" And that was the reaction that he got from all the governors. What you heard right there.
Right.
So bless his soul. He is such an optimist. He's just, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that one, but I think that needless to say, that caught everybody by surprise. So we have plenty to talk about today, and we will get into one other thing on my list, and this is a pretty big story for our immediate area, Tyler. And this microphone keeps drooping. I'm going to see if I can fix this here live on the radio. There we go. That's better. Boaters, on Friday, when we heard from the governor, we heard that boating was allowed. But right after that announcement, none of the marinas or the boatyards or the people that store and launch our boats for many people were cleared to do that work. Then about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, I found out that the Michigan Boating Industry Association sent out a notice after talking to the AG or the governor's office or somebody that cleared the way for marinas and other folks to start launching boats. So we have a lot of lakes here in our area. It's a big issue. I mean, they clear the way for you to go boating, and then you can't put your boat on the water. That would have been frustrating, and that would have been silly. So that's been cleared with a zillion rules, spacing, all the other things. We're going to get into that. So we're going to talk to momentarily one of the marinas doing that work and find out how busy they are. We're also going to talk to a contractor in our area and find out what's going on with home construction and when we can get that ramped up. We are going to talk to Eric Wallis, the president of Henry Ford Hospital West Bloomfield today. Ton of things to get into with him. We heard there is an esports program at Oakland University. We talked to John Johnson from the MHSAA last week on the show, and he said, "Dave, they got esports." And Tyler, I still don't know what esports is.
Oh, we'll find out.
Okay, we'll find out because they have an esports program at Oakland University. They've gotten in front of everything out there, done a good job letting students know what next year might look like. We're going to talk to a small business consultant, Holly Francis, joins us later on in the show, and the golf courses are at least a little bit happier, and we're going to talk to the folks at Bay Pointe Golf Club before the broadcast concludes. So that's what we have lined up for you, and checking in right now, I need to hit a button here. I think we were muted. I just got to get all the Zoom controls down. That's not so easy. I think I got to hit one more button here. There we go, and I got to hit one more button there. And now we see the Bloomfield Township Fire Chief, and it's Mike Morin joining us again on the Megacast. Chief Morin, thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks for having us, Steve.
So, I always like throwing out these open-ended questions at the very beginning of the broadcast. How's everything going in Bloomfield Township?
Things have settled down, so that's a good thing. We ramped up pretty fast. I talked to you, a lot of going on. But a lot of good work by our guys in the community have helped us stabilize the event. And we're now keeping our plans in place for moving forward. returning employees back to their
Chief, I'm having a little difficulty hearing you. We're going to take a break. I'm going to get you on with Larry, our Zoom concierge. We actually have a Zoom concierge here on the show, Tyler. Amazing. We're going to do that because I want everybody to be able to hear what you have to say. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. This is the Megacast. I'm Dave Scott. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter. Our top priority remains slowing the spread of COVID-19 in our communities. Please stay home, and when you must go out to an essential business, take precautions like social distancing and washing your hands when you come home. Because of the pandemic, we are behind in our response rate in Michigan. While you are home, please take a few minutes to fill out the census. It is more important than ever that we receive money back from our federal government. The census is Oakland Together.
The Centers for Disease Control and Oakland County Health Division encourages households to prepare for the possibility of a coronavirus outbreak in their community. Keep extra items in your house for an extended stay at home. Remember any special food items for babies, the elderly, and pets. Keep non-prescription drugs and other health supplies on hand, such as personal medications, at least 1 month's supply, first aid kits, alcohol-based hand sanitizer, at least 60% alcohol, non-mercury thermometer, and get copies and maintain electronic versions of health records. Talk with family members about how they would be cared for if they got sick and what would be needed to care for them in your home. Learn about the plan at your child's school and your workplace. Discuss sick leave policies and/or telework options for workers who become ill. For more information, go to oakgov.com/health or call our Nurse on Call hotline at 1-800-848-5533.
All right, welcome back to the Megacast. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe, and I think we have everything all worked out back in Bloomfield Township at the fire department. I want to get back over to Mike Morin, the township fire chief. And hey, Chief, you got Matt DeRouche with you as well there. I got to hit a button or two. Matt, welcome to the Megacast. Good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
So, Chief, please start over again because we couldn't quite hear what you were saying earlier.
So I think the last time we spoke, this was just ramping up in regards to COVID. We had a lot of plans. We talked about plans A, B, C, and D, and we were working on C. So at this point now, I think with the help of a lot of the individuals here, both police, fire, our other employees, DPW, we've got our plans in place. The residents have certainly helped us out by staying at home and following the rules. So I know everyone's getting a little cabin fever now, so it's getting a little bit tougher to wrangle the cats around, but we seem to be holding our own at this point.
And we doing okay on calls? Last time we talked, you told us that overall, at least the police folks have been saying overall calls are down because there are fewer people on the roads. Are you able to keep up? And maybe I should send this over to Matt sitting next to you, Matt DeRouche. Are you able to keep up with the calls, primarily the health calls that are coming in from 911?
We are. We're doing well. We do show a reduction in our overall call volume. We're still running COVID calls every day. Those have seemed to go down a little bit as well. So as of right now, we are maintaining and doing well.
So I just want to ask you guys one more time, both Mike Morin, the Bloomfield Township Fire Chief, and Matt DeRouche in Bloomfield Township. Are we seeing, you're on the front line, are we seeing the curve flatten in Bloomfield Township and in our area? Matt?
I think so, yes. From all evidence, just with a consistent slowing of the runs that are anything even COVID positive or a suspected COVID, it seems to be that we are on that downturn. So that's positive.
Chief Morin, do you have anything you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, we've been watching this obviously from day one. Right now, we're watching the zip code areas, and we're going up about 1% a day, but there's a lot more people being tested. So right now, we're about 352 confirmed in the township by the zip code. If you go to the county website and look at that information, and we've had 22 confirmed that have passed away from COVID. Obviously, the numbers are higher than that because a lot of stuff isn't tracked, but this is just confirmed that they've been tested, and they tie it back to the zip code. So we kind of watch that. Again, that includes Bloomfield Hills as well as Birmingham and some of those zip codes. But our 4 zip codes that we handle, we're up to about 352 confirmed cases. We have had one case in our department with one of our firefighters. It was not from a response here, but from family member. He's doing well. His mom's doing well. So we're glad to hear that. But it's starting to hit home with people. They're seeing relatives that have been through the process, either in the hospital or rolled it out through home. But it is obviously local here. We want to keep everyone in tune with, again, staying in compliance with the rules, the distancing, the mask, and we've tried to stay 6 feet apart here. We work together every day, and we do temperature checks every day with that. But, following the guidelines, I know it's rough for a lot of people to do that, but, stay compliant and we'll stay healthy.
No, I know you guys have been doing your social distancing, and I screwed that up by, having a Zoom issue here. So thank you very quickly. We'll get you guys on your way, but thank you very quickly. So there is now new testing, and any first responder in Oakland County can immediately get tested, even if they don't have any symptoms, think they're asymptomatic. Is that helping out either one of you when I respond to that?
Yes, it is. It's been a real big help. We have, even with somebody that has maybe a mild symptom or a question, they talk about the worried well. This has given us a big opportunity to get them in right away, get test results back fairly quickly, and then we can clear them back to work. And initially, when this first started, we would be waiting 7 to 10 days to get somebody cleared.
Right.
And this has just been a big help.
Well, no, then you wait 7 to 10 days, and that's 7 to 10 days of exposure. You just don't know. So that is absolutely huge. Matt, the EMS captain, Matt DeRouche, is joining us along with Chief Mike Morin from the Bloomfield Township Fire Department. Matt, back over to you again just for a second. We are hearing that that hospital workers, doctors, ER folks, the nurse practitioners, they've come up with a lot of new strategies based on communications they've had with their colleagues around the county and around the country, and procedures that they have figured out through this. Is the same thing true with the EMS workers? Have you learned some things over the last 30 days that are helping out?
We have. We've learned a lot of things. The one thing that we learned is we were prepared early, and we came up with the best plan that we thought we could at that point. And it turns out it was a benefit to be that far ahead. But the other thing that we did learn is we need to change that plan almost daily for a while as things unfolded, and we had to make adjustments to our plan. Now, after this 4 or 5 weeks of operation, we've got it pretty streamlined, and now it's just a matter of sustaining this operation for the long haul.
One of the biggest communities that we need to serve here in our Lakes area, and actually all across Oakland County, are seniors. They're the most vulnerable. It's been difficult to get specific information from nursing homes. Now the state health department says they're going to start publishing that. Chief Moore, do you think that'll help out so we have a better idea what's going on in the nursing homes?
It'll help out globally. I think here we've monitored it. We not only consider the nursing homes, but the independent living homes as well. We want to keep it out of there as much as we can. Obviously, we've got it in one of our facilities, and we've monitored that. We respond there just about a daily anymore for various reasons, but it's here. We know it's here. We want to keep the spread minimal, obviously, so that people can get the proper care at the hospital in regards to having the continuum of care that they're going to need to get them healthy again. So we know it's here. The numbers will just validate that. It'll show us maybe more of our hot spots that we need to focus a little more effort on. But in Bloomfield Township, and I think most of the communities around us, we spotted it early, and we've tried to put things in place to manage it. And we'll just continue to deal with it as it keeps popping up.
Well, great work, and you are right, and we've seen it in almost all of our communities. Having a plan early, responding to it, not ignoring it, not letting it sneak up on us, I think proved essential here. And we've been hard hit in Oakland County. Let's not kid ourselves. This area's been very hard hit, and the job you guys are doing and the others are doing is absolutely amazing, and it's greatly appreciated. Now. I thought you said it really well, Matt DeRouche. Now we're coming into a new phase, and you got to come up with a new plan almost every day, right? So we're going to probably hear that construction is going to begin soon, home construction. That'll have a big impact in your communities. We got people out on the golf courses, people out on boats. Retailers are beginning to do curbside retail. Grocery stores are opening up, and the governor says, "Oh, that's good, but put a mask on." So as our community and society begins to open up a little bit, what concerns do you guys have? And Matt, I'll start with you. And have you had to adjust your plan one more time?
Yes, because shortly, once the public is the stay-at-home order is lifted and the public is out and about, our run volume will go back to normal, and it'll go back overnight. So the first thing that we have to do is be very disciplined and stay within using our proper PPE, because we're going to be running on a lot of people that are not associated necessarily with shortness of breath, fever. They may be car accidents and other things, but to protect ourselves and them, we still have to use proper PPE. And that just means we're going to be using a lot more than we have been. Also, we just have to be consistent with the training and the knowledge that we have. We're still going to have people that are going to call that have symptoms, and I mean our employees, they're going to get sick as the year continues on. We have to continue to screen them, continue to be diligent at the stations and around one another so that we don't bring anything into work, because very quickly it could go through our department and render us fairly useless if we have half our staffing. So yeah, we have to be very aware of this is going to be here for a while, and we still have to be vigilant.
And Mike Morin, I assume you're talking to Greg Flynn and the chiefs and the other departments around the area, and you all have each other's backs. I mean, if one department were to, see a lot of people go down with coronavirus or anything else, I assume that the other departments would be there to help out. Is that correct?
Yeah, and they have been. We set up the 5 different divisions in Oakland County. We utilized it the first week quite a bit. We've got different plans in place now with private ambulance and bringing resources to where they're needed. So as we move forward, we'll keep the divisions going. The county's kind of prepared as a group instead of us all being in our own little silo. So if I need help, I just pick up the phone and let them know. We have command groups that talk every morning that talk about who's off sick that day and what the manpower is as a division, so we know what our status is and where we're trending up or down as far as employees. We still have our helplines in place for the township residents themselves. So if there's things that you can avoid going to get medications and things because you are high risk, just call our helpline. The residents have utilized that quite a bit for prescriptions and groceries. Also, a lot of the CVSs and things are delivering prescriptions themselves to help along with that. So, as a response, Bloomfield Township works with the communities around us. We watch each other in regards to the increase or decrease of this, and we'll be there to support each other should we run low on manpower or equipment. Or again, we're here for fires as well. So Southfield had one last night that we helped them with to spread the resources out as well to maintain a good response for everybody. So.
Well, great job, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. I don't know, I hate to put you in the spot. Do you have that helpline number there that I can share? Can we get that later on, Chief Morin? Do you know that helpline number we can share with the viewers right now if they need a helping hand? We'll get it. All right, we'll get it. We'll get it up on our website. Sorry to throw that at you. Great job, guys. Anything else you want to conclude with?
No, I think that, moving forward, this is not like, let's shut off the light switch tonight and it's over with. This is a long-term event for us and, the citizens out there. So be vigilant. Remember that mask is to keep you from spreading it to someone else. It doesn't necessarily protect you like an N95 mask does when you're fit tested. So wear the mask, protect other people. That's what we're trying to do this for. And then, be respectful as everyone gets the cabin fever and wants to get out and they're anxious. When you're driving back to work for the first time, then, be respectful of other drivers and stuff and try to maintain some composure as we go through this, because it's going to be a long summer dealing with this event. But I think we've got it under control. We just don't want to see it spike again.
Matt DeRouche, EMS Captain, any thoughts from you before we say so long?
Well, real quick, I do have that helpline.
Okay, so we'll take it.
Bloomfield Township Resident Helpline is 248-723-3455.
Okay, 248-723-3455, and that is in Bloomfield Township, and we have a lot of the other numbers. Oakland County number, the other municipal numbers are all on our website, and we will add that one as well. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate you joining us this morning on the Megacast. Good to be in touch with you. Thank you again on behalf of all of us for your fine work and your bravery out in the field. Greatly appreciated.
Thanks for getting the message.
Appreciate it. There they are, a couple of our first responders. They are the heroes right now, my friends, doing the good work. And Tyler, great planning, great execution, and some really fine advice. It's been good to talk to Chief Morin since almost the very beginning of this whole thing, and good to meet Matt as well today. So nice work going on in Bloomfield Township.
Absolutely. It's good to know that they are consistently planning and replanning and adjusting to this, as they said, almost day by day at some points during this process, because this is ever changing and there are different factors that are coming in as these departments are not only dealing with their own municipality, but also neighboring municipalities as well. Absolutely.
We are going to take a slightly lighter direction here in a moment. We're going to talk to Carl Leone, the esports coach at Oakland University, and he'll be joining us in a minute via Zoom. They have a esports program. I still don't know what it is. We're going to find out. So on our website shortly, if it's not already there, new symptoms, new coronavirus symptoms. So, Tyler, we're learning more every day. We're learning more. So you want to hear the new symptoms?
Sure.
All right. Here's what we have. Chills, repeated shaking with chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, new loss of taste or smell. Some of those sound familiar, but they are saying these are new symptoms to look for if you think you have coronavirus. Chills, repeated shaking with chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, new loss of taste or smell. And then the ones we've had before, fever, cough, shortness of breath. And then they say if you have any of these, don't mess around. Call 911 right away. Here are the ones you call 911 for. Because some of these other things, we've talked about it. It's like, well, do I have it? Don't I? There's been a lot of ambiguity, and there might be with you and your family. But if you have these, call 911. Get an ambulance. Get some help. Chest pain, persistent pain in the chest, confusion, inability to arouse, or if you notice that somebody in your family or somebody that you're interacting with has blush lips or blush face, all of those to me sound like you're having trouble with your breathing, you're having trouble getting oxygen in your blood, and that's the time to pick up the phone and make a call.
Absolutely. And if you're feeling like you are severely ill, or you're feeling like you're having an inability to physically act normal in a normal sense, in a healthy sense, you absolutely should call 911. That's an emergency.
All right, well, do that. I have one of those little things. One of the docs came on. I got one of those little things I got at the drugstore.
Yeah,
a heart monitor, and it also monitors your oxygen level. You can stick it on your finger, and those are really cool too. So if you're not sure, you just want some metrics to deal with, you could do that. All right, I'm looking forward to this. So on Friday, we had John Johnson of the Michigan High School Athletic Association on the show, communication director, talking about things that are going on at high schools. And we talked about the possibility of esports becoming a sanctioned activity by the MHSAA. And Tyler, I mean, I don't even know what esports Really is. You said no problem. You get it, right?
Oh, yeah, I get it.
All right, you can see just by, if you're watching on TV, a lot more gray hairs right here. Tyler's a young guy, just graduated Michigan State a couple of years ago. And I know this guy who we see on Zoom right now, he's got it all down. This is Carl Leone. He's an esports coach at Oakland University, and he joins us via Zoom. Carl, good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on.
So, first of all, how you doing? Where are you at? We do this with everyone when they check in first time of the show. How's everything going? You're obviously at home. Tell us what's going on where you are.
Right. So everything's going fine. Family's in great health, and right now that's pretty important to me. I was in the middle of a process of actually moving back to the east side of Michigan. So right now I'm in Grand Rapids, and whenever the quarantine ends, that's when I'll move. But thankfully, I can work from home and everything's fine. So
you look like you're right here in Oakland County. The signal's great, and well, thanks for sharing that with us. So first of all, what are esports?
Okay, so esports is competitive video gaming, and it has that E in there because it's electronic sports. So it's just competitive video gaming. It's incredibly popular, especially in the last 7 years. It's just really blown up exponentially, and thankfully, I've been blessed to be a part of it.
You know, we should have planned this better, Tyler. We probably could have got some esports on the screen here today to show. But, Carl, so I get it. So you are engaging in some online gaming or activities, and you're competing with other people wherever they are. So you can sit there right in your home in Grand Rapids right now, and you can compete with other people, right?
Absolutely, yes. And that's the nice part about it, and maybe some kind of positive light that can be thrown out right now is that despite all of the problems that we're having, esports pushes on because all of the competitions can be held online. Normally the professional scene is in arenas with, packed full of fans, but they can at least continue the season where a lot of sports, you're seeing them just dead. There's nothing to do. So it is kind of nice that we're able to compete online. And the part that I like to say to people who maybe aren't so familiar with esports is that it is a team. Most of them are team games. So it's, 5 people against 5 other people. And so that's where it really ties into traditional sports, because you just have to respect that level of skill once you get up to that top 1% of anything.
All right.
An amazing chess player, you really respect them. An amazing NASCAR driver, you respect them. Amazing football player, you respect them. Same thing here with esports, and it's becoming more mainstream. So I'm really excited about that.
Well, I got to put everything in context. For me, when I think of, gaming and sports, I think of the football players on that thing with the magnet, and the magnet guys. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, I do. I do. That's how they got the animation for the old sports games. I remember that.
Yeah. So, it's really old school. But so what games, what activities, and I love the fact you mentioned team. I didn't even think of that. What kind of sports are you engaged in? What are the top games?
So for Oakland University right now, we'll be having Rocket League, League of Legends, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Those are the 3 games we'll be competing in our first inaugural year here in the fall.
So could you tell me a little bit about those for the uninformed?
Sure, absolutely. So I'll start with Rocket League because it's the easiest one. Excuse me. Rocket League is basically soccer, but pushed by rocket-powered cars. So it's literally on a soccer field, and there's a giant ball, and you just push it with a rocket-powered car. And it's 3-on-3, play the game online. That's a really fun one if you want to check out esports and see what it's all about. Rocket League is absolutely what I would recommend because it's so easy to watch. Even if you don't know the game, you can just pick it up and watch, and it's very fun.
And is the scoring and all the rules, is it similar to soccer? Or does it have its own set of rules and scoring and...
So the scoring is the same, ball in the net's 1. Typically it scores a bit more than traditional soccer, so maybe it's a bit more exciting in that way. But there are some changes. For example, there's no out of bounds because it's literally caged in, so the ball can bounce off the walls of the ceiling and things like that. So it can get pretty crazy, pretty entertaining, and it's definitely a fun esport for those who, like I said, who maybe aren't so familiar with gaming.
Carl Leone is the esports coach at Oakland University, joining us today via Zoom from his home in Grand Rapids. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe. This is the Megacast, and we thank you for tuning in. Carl, do any of these esports, do they have, I don't know the proper term, but do they have some kind of a physical interface where you actually get up and you like swing a racket or you kick something, or is it all, mouse and mouse and joystick?
We're moving towards that. So you're basically predicting the future. So there's a thing out there, virtual reality, where you kind of put on the headset and you're in the game and your movements kind of dictate what you do in the game. The technology isn't at the point yet where we can really have full-blown esports competitions, but that's where it's going. So I would anticipate in 10 years, you could have a full-blown football match where it's, 5-10 people on this side, 5-10 people on this side, and they all have virtual reality headsets on competing against each other in the game, which sounds a bit boring, but it'd be pretty exciting once they actually put in all of the graphics and everything. I'd be really excited to see what that would look like.
Carl, is there a spectator component to this? Is it fun to watch teams compete?
Yes. So I'll give you some statistics off the top of my head. The most popular esports game in the world is League of Legends. It's one of the games that we'll have at Oakland University. And the World Championship for League of Legends, so you can think of it like Worlds for Soccer, it's the same thing, or the World Cup, excuse me. They consistently beat baseball and basketball finals combined, the viewership numbers. So they do have an advantage because it's worldwide and not mostly just in North America, but they consistently beat the finals numbers for basketball and baseball combined.
So is ESPN missing out on all this? There's been no sports. I mean, or are they broadcasting esports on TV and I've just not seen it?
They do, yeah. So League of Legends, that same game, their spring finals, the entire playoff series was just on ESPN. They had a partnership, and so they put it on ESPN2, I believe. It was broadcast the whole thing, so it was very cool to see that. It was the first time that game specifically was on ESPN, but ESPN is full-blown bought into it at this point. They have an entire media outlet that's ESPN Esports.
I was gonna make my dodgeball reference and ask if it was on ESPN8, the Ocho.
The Ocho, that's right.
But okay, that's cool. So unfortunately, we got to get back to the serious business of the show. But before we go, I appreciate you joining us, Carl. So how's this going to work? You've got this program at Oakland University. I assume I should know what league you're in, but is this going to be something you'll be competing with other universities in your league?
We will. So Oakland University is part of the Horizon League. The Horizon League does not have any kind of esports conference. So we'll be creating our own. We'll be finding our own conferences to compete in. And then each of these games, the developer who makes the game, hosts their own national collegiate tournament every year. So we'll be competing in that as well.
All right, but there'll be regional tournaments and University A versus University B like we'd see in football or basketball or any other sport, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Listen, I want to let you know, Tyler and I can call a heck of a football game, okay? We don't only do this show, so if you're looking for a broadcast crew, I'm not sure we're going to be able to do high school football this year. We'll have to wait and see, Tyler. What do you think?
It's not looking good, but esports will be there.
All right, so just we'll put our application in with you, Carl. Can we do this at the high school level too? Would you like to see that?
There is high school esports leagues out there. The nice part about it is there's a lot of room to grow to bring a little bit more infrastructure to it. Right now, it's more of just clubs, and there's kind of a volunteer there to help. But we have seen some. One that I could just name off the top of my head would be West Catholic High School. It's over here on the west side of Michigan. They have a full-blown esports program and a legitimate, I think, 15 computer lab in their school. They compete every night, so that's pretty cool.
Do you need to be near your other teammates in the same room, or can you compete without being in the same physical space?
It's not necessary. You don't have to, but the nice part about it is, especially at the collegiate level and the professional level, it builds a bit of camaraderie camaraderie and communication and some of those leadership skills, where if you're not next to each other, it's a little bit more difficult to build up those relationships. So I prefer to have players competing next to each other, but it is a nice ability to have to not have to be next to each other, especially in quarantine situations.
All right, Tyler, can we put together our own team? Yeah, we need 5. We got tons of people on our staff.
Sure.
They've got the right kind of people. Would we start with Rocket League or League of Legends, or where do you suggest we start, Carl?
Rocket League for sure.
All
It'll be the easiest to digest. Go watch a Rocket League game. You'll pick it up really quick.
Is there any big investment? And we just need the 5 people and 5 computers, right? Is there anything more? You got to buy software or anything?
If you want to start a team, no, it's very easy. You have to buy the game. So Rocket League is maybe $10 or $20. It depends. So it's very inexpensive to get into and play these esports titles, and that's kind of the draw to it.
Dude, you got 5 people. Maybe we want to challenge you right out of the box. What do you think? You got some guys you put a team together. We'll put a team together. We'll meet you at high noon in downtown Lansing, right in between Grand Rapids and here. What do you think? Are you up for that?
That sounds great. Let's do that.
All right, Tyler. Am I getting us some big trouble?
Oh, probably. Probably.
Carl, this is really cool. Thank you very much. I mean, it's a perfect thing for people to get involved in right now. We're at home, and no matter what happens, we're going to start to come out. It's summertime. We want people to get out and enjoy the summer. But no matter what happens, we're going to be in a situation where it's going to be tough to get a bunch of spectators in an arena. So this might just be part of the answer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good opportunity to shine some light on kind of a dark time.
All right, go Grizzlies! Thank you very much. I appreciate you joining us. We'll keep in touch, Carl. All right, that is Carl Leone doing a great job joining us today here on the Megacast. He is the esports coach at Oakland University. I love it. I want to put a team together. Let's do it. Sounds like fun. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. We're going to talk to a contractor, and we're going to talk to one of our area boat dealers who are helping people get back on the water, and the contractor is going to hopefully soon get back to the work of building homes here in our community as we open things up a little bit in the community. I'm Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe over there. This is 89.3 Lakes FM, 88.1 WBFH The Biff, WAHS 89.5 Avondale Community Radio, Civic Center TV, Birmingham Area Municipal Access, and today we're on the Bloomfield Township Fire Department Facebook page. Bring it all together. It's the Megacast, and we'll be right back.
Coronavirus is deadly, but Michigan can fight back. Our front doors are the front lines of defense. Staying home is the best way to stop the spread, because just one infected person can give it to 40, who can give it to countless more. So call Grandma, don't visit, video chat, don't meet up. And if you must go out for food or medicine, keep at least 6 feet from others. Stay home. Stay safe. Stop the spread.
Hello, I'm Dr. Betty Chu, Chief Quality Officer at Henry Ford Health System, and I'm with Wright Lassiter, Henry Ford Health System's CEO, to talk about coronavirus.
In uncertain times, it's natural to have questions. So I'm going to ask Dr. Chu to answer some of the common ones. First, why can't I visit my grandma to see if she's okay?
Because the elderly are at a higher risk for complications with this disease, and you could inadvertently infect her.
If I'm healthy, why can't I go out with my friends?
The larger the crowd you're exposed to, the higher the chance you could get infected and infect others.
If I have symptoms, why do I have to seek care?
While the disease isn't dangerous for most people, for others it can be. We need to understand how serious your case is, because the right choices save lives. For more information, visit henryford.com or call 313-874-1055.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jonay Caldoun. We know that COVID-19 is spreading rapidly across Michigan right now. The most important thing people can do to protect themselves is social distancing. That means unless you are a critical infrastructure worker or going out to get food or medicine for your home, you should be staying at home. Stay home, stay safe, save lives.
Hi, my name is Kurt Lawson, and I'm the Public Information Officer for West Bloomfield Township. We wanted to reach out to you, our older adults, to provide information that you may find useful during this difficult time. We want to ensure you that West Bloomfield Town Hall, our Waters and Utility Department, West Bloomfield Parks, and our police and fire departments continue to work hard on your behalf. Information and resources can be found on the Township website, the police Facebook and Twitter, or call West Bloomfield Park's COVID-19 Help Hotline. Please remember to keep your social distance of at least 6 feet, wear facial coverings when you leave your home, and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with soap. These precautions will help keep you safe during these difficult times.
Hi, I'm Dr. Faust, the Medical Director for the Oakland County Health Division. The most important thing you can do to prevent the spread of illness is to wash your hands thoroughly and often. Follow these 6 easy steps every time you wash your hands. Step 1, turn on the sink and wet your hands with warm water. Step 2, apply soap to your hands and lather between your fingers, under your nails, and the front and back of your hands and wrists. Step 3, wash your hands by scrubbing them together for at least 20 seconds. Step 4, rinse your hands with warm, clean water. And step 5, dry your hands with a clean cloth towel, a paper towel, or hot air blow dryer. If you're using a cloth towel, make sure to change it often. For handheld faucets, turn off the water using a paper towel instead of your bare hand. Step 6, if you're using a paper towel, throw it away. Practice healthy habits like washing your hands after coughing or sneezing into them to keep you and others healthy. Go to oakgov.com/health or call Nurse on Call at 1-800-848-5533 to learn more.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome back to the Megacast. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe in our Lakes FM studios in Walnut Lake Road in West Bloomfield. We thank you for joining us on Civic Center TV, Channel 15 on Comcast, Birmingham Area Municipal Access on Channel 15 in the Birmingham area, and then also on the Bloomfield Township Fire Department Facebook page today, and then these 3 great radio stations, 89.3 Lakes FM, 88.1 WBFH, the Biff, and WAHS, 89.5 Avondale Community Radio, covering a whole bunch of Oakland County where there are an awful lot of lakes and now some boaters that are a lot happier. Governor on Friday said we can start power boating again, but there was some ambiguity as to whether or not we could get help from the area marinas and marine services operators who have many of our boats stored, and many of us need help launching the boats. Then they communicated with the Michigan Boating Industry Association, who I'm sure was on the phone with the governor moments after her announcement on Friday, and cleared the whole thing up, and now you can launch your boat and get it on one of our wonderful lakes, which is going to be great, with a 70-degree weekend coming up. Joining us now from DSL Marine in Waterford is Dave Crow, the busiest guy in Oakland County right now. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
I'm well, thanks. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Quite a roller coaster for you and your industry and all of your boaters. I'm sure you're a busy guy today.
Yeah, the phones, after the governor spoke on Friday, the phones lit up like a Christmas tree because everybody said she can go boating. And the problem was, at that point in time, they hadn't turned us loose to be able to put boats in the water as of yet. So it was a bittersweet moment, to say the least. Later that day, we got the clarification from the Michigan Boating Industry that, in fact, we were going to be able to go back to work on the marina's on a somewhat limited basis, meaning that we can work outdoors and we can do, prep boats, but there's things that, we have to issue masks to our employees and, do the social distancing guidelines and there's a lot of things that we haven't had to do, obviously, in the past, that now we have to do to make sure that we're compliant with the governor's wishes at this moment.
Well, it's better than the alternative, Dave Crow from DSL Marine. And, Michigan, we love boating, and especially here in Oakland County. We love our boating, and, if it's one of the few things that we can do, and we can do it safely, get your family out on your boat on the weekend, seems like a pretty safe activity. Why not? But so many people would have been restricted from this had you guys not been able to give them a helping hand. So really glad to see that that happen. Are you going to be able to get your job done with the rules that are in place, Dave?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, some of the things from us internally have changed. There's no longer customers are going to be able to ride in our trucks because sometimes, customarily over the years, we've pick the customers up at their home and taking them to the ramp to launch the boats. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that anymore due to the social distancing guidelines. But we're going to roll the window down a little bit and let you push your payment in the window. Or if we do credit cards, we can do that obviously externally. But a lot of things have changed in with regards to that, and but that's not really going to be an issue for us. It's we're able to get the boats in the water. The issues that we're going to have as a boating industry in whole is that part of the issues that they had before when they shut it down was boating is a social sport. And when people are putting their boats in, it's a great day, and I tell people in the spring I'm a rock star, and in the fall I'm a grim reaper. So right now when people are dying to get out on the water, especially since they've been cooped up at home, we have to be cognizant at the boat ramps to make sure that we're, the social distancing thing for folks, whether you're a trailer boater putting your own things in, you've got to follow those guidelines or the privilege could be taken away. Same way with the boating, you can't have your boat in and call all your buddies to come over and take it for a beer cruise, because that's not the rules. The rules is same family only at the same residence is what's supposed to happen, and those things. That's one of the reasons that they stopped the motorboating from previously was because of those issues. So, we'll be able to do our jobs, but please do your part in this thing so that we can continue to put people's boats in and be able to have that available to us. Because, like you said, this is a huge boating community in the Oakland County area for us.
Well, it is, and it's important, but we could still enjoy boating, and I'm sure some of those rules will hopefully loosen up over time. Dave Crow from DSL Marine, but I appreciate you being responsible and warning people about that. One of the things we like to do on our lakes is, get a bunch of boats together and we tie them all together and raft them all together and everyone's having a good time. And it is, boaters are naturally, I think, for the most part, social animals. I think it goes hand in hand with boating, but new normal is better than no boating at all. I hope people realize it and heed your warning until such time as we're able to loosen these things up.
Right. The word normal is kind of an oxymoron now because who knows what that really is. But right now the normal is the governor's guidelines, and we have to adhere to those things. And, we're going to be able to do our jobs to get it in. We just ask that the public do their jobs so we can all continue to boat and enjoy that sport because it is a great time. And like you said, it's going to be 70 degrees this weekend. And I can't tell you how many people are calling right now to get their boat by the weekend because it's 70 degrees. Although it's the first weekend of May, which is probably early for people, but being how that you've been kept in your homes for weeks on end and haven't been able to really get out and enjoy the world, this is a great opportunity to do that. And so we're working hard to make that happen for our folks, and hope everybody will stay safe in this endeavor.
Yeah, we're really not that far behind. You mentioned it, Dave Crow. We're not that far behind from getting boats in the water and getting people going. A little bit, but we're really not that far behind. So it is early May, and I hope, or late April, and I hope people will be careful. Anything else? I guess real quick, Dave, are you behind, or are you going to be able to get everybody in pretty soon?
No, we're in great shape. Obviously what we consider the drop-dead date's Memorial Day weekend, and that's when everybody has to have it in by. I don't see, unless we hit another work stoppage from the governor, I don't see us having any issues getting all of our boats in by Memorial Day weekend. Some of these marinas, though, that I've talked to that have, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boats, 200, 300, 400 boats. Some of these guys are, they're talking, June launch dates, and it's like, wow, that's going to be unfortunate for a lot of folks, but it is what it is. When we had got shut down for the 3 or 4 weeks there, 6 weeks really for most people, but 3 or 4 weeks it really put a lot of the repair work and things behind for folks that are kind of shut down or minimum work over the winters. So,
and Dave,
we're going to be in great shape. We'll have everybody in by definitely by Memorial Day, even sooner if they want.
All right, and you're dealing with people to more of a curbside environment, so they can pay a curbside, they can interact curbside. I assume if you need boating supplies, you can go to the boating dealers, whoever it happens to be, get curbside supplies, and I assume we'll be able to get fuel on the lakes and at gas stations around. We should be good to go. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's I don't see any issues with those things. I mean, for us, if people need supplies, they can just call us ahead of time, let us know what it is they need, and we can bring it with us, put it in their boat prior to that time, and, pay us curbside for it also. So it makes it a little easier on them. It's easier for all of us, So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great boating season. I hope everybody's looking forward to the summer. I know I am, and, hopefully we'll see you on the water.
All right, Dave. Well, big sigh of relief. For this also could have been devastating to your business, and
Sure.
This is a huge part of Michigan's economy, the boating business. So I'm glad things are working out. Hey, I know you're busy. Thanks for your time today. Can we keep in touch?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Anytime.
Anything comes up, let us know, and I'll let you get back to work. I know there's some people that want to go boating this weekend.
Well, and it's a beautiful day for that right now. I'll tell you, I'm outside, and it is. It's going to be a great day, and it's supposed to be a great weekend. So, like I said, we'll see you on the water.
All right, Dave. Thank you very much. From Waterford, Dave Crow, DSL Marine, and he is getting every boat he can, Tyler, in the water as quick as we can. So it's good news. So we got our golf, we got our lawns getting cut. I'm telling you, you thought it was crazy in Lansing, a couple of weeks ago. And we had to keep all this stuff shut down. I just don't think the state of Michigan could. No matter what. If it was like devastating out there, we would have all dealt with it. But you take away golf, you take away boating, you don't let people work in their yards. You take away construction, you take away agriculture. It gets really, really hard for people. The governor has been able to walk the tightrope now and get these things back. And now it's on all of us to not screw it up, right?
Yeah, and I think that credit to the governor also in doing that in a way that was cautious and it was safe. Maybe made some people frustrated and angry with how long it took. But, like you said, walking that tightrope to the time where it's right to do that, and it's at a point where people are now at a point in time in the weather also where it's nice outside and people want to get out and they want to do these recreational activities that they're used to at this time of the year, and it gives people a sense of happiness during this treacherous time.
All right, so we are going to shift back to the serious business of the day. Eric Wallis will join us. He is the president of Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield. He joins us via Zoom in a couple of minutes. We're also going to talk to a contractor, a home builder, who is waiting for the news to come for builders so they can get back to work on your homes and construction projects. We're going to talk to a small business consultant who might be able to help you out with the PPP loan or other issues. And then the folks at Bay Pointe Golf Club are going to check in here next hour. I imagine there are people out on the links, so we're going to get to all of them in a couple of minutes. Let's get our legal IDs in, take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Eric Wallis from Henry Ford West Bloomfield. You are listening to 89.3 WBLD, Orchard Lake, West Bloomfield, Keagle Harbor, Sylvan Lake, 88.1 WBFH, Bloomfield Hills, and beyond at WAHS, Auburn Hills, which is WAHS 89.5 Avondale Community Radio. Thanks for watching on Civic Center TV, now also Birmingham Area Municipal Access, and thank you for watching today on the Bloomfield Township Fire Department Facebook page. We'll be back in just a moment.
Coronavirus is deadly, but Michigan can fight back. Our front doors are the front lines of defense. Staying home is the best way to stop the spread, because just one infected person can give it to 40, who can give it to countless more. So call Grandma, don't visit, video chat, don't meet up. And if you must go out for food or medicine, keep at least 6 feet from others. Stay home, stay safe, stop the spread.
Stay home, stay safe, and stop the spread. The word from the state of Michigan. And now the word is that we have the Michigan Safe Start plan that is about to be implemented here in the state as we get more businesses back on their feet and get them operating and try to get our economy going. It's a real balance, though, as we know, to try to do that and keep everybody healthy and not overwhelm our hospital systems. Let's just look at that side of the story as we are delighted to be joined again via Zoom. Eric Wallis, president of Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield. Mr. Wallis, thank you very much for checking back in on the Megacast. Good to talk to you today.
Absolutely glad to be here, Dave.
So we're in a little bit better place today. Numbers are down, and I don't know if you heard, but we were just talking boating and golf. So, that is a step in the right direction. Still a very serious matter. How are things going at Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield?
Well, I think just like you see across the rest of the state of Michigan, we start to see some of our numbers have trended down just a little bit, but I guess I would really emphasize that doesn't mean that it has gone away. We are certainly each day seeing a few less cases, but unfortunately the folks who are still making it into the hospital are still very, very sick. We're still seeing folks that winding up on ventilators for not just a day or two, but certainly up to weeks. And so we're still in the middle of this fight. We still see a large portion of our business today is completely COVID related. So although I know that the world is very interested and very rightly so, very interested in getting it back to normal as quickly as possible, we're certainly not quite there yet.
Well, there's a lot of issues that you just mentioned. Let's take each one of them very quickly, if you'd be so kind. First of all, our heart goes out to all of the folks that are working so hard and putting their lives on the line. But in addition to that, you guys have a business challenge in the hospitals. We've all seen the media reports. By losing your more profitable elective surgery, that has put you folks in financial dire straits, if you will. You want to talk about that a little bit, Eric?
Yeah, I wish I didn't have to talk about that, but I think it's part of our reality right now. As you mentioned, the way the healthcare economics in this country have been set up has been that generally our healthcare systems survive based on the surgeries and the elective procedures that we do, and the medical patients that we take care of generally don't cover our costs. And so that we are very much seeing that. I think across the Henry Ford health system, even in our most recent week, we're seeing about 50% less revenue this year compared to last. And so just like most folks, if you were looking at your own personal bank account, if there's 50% less funds there to do the things, but your bills are staying the same, it's a tough place to be. So unfortunately, we had to make some difficult decisions to furlough some team members across the Henry Ford health system. I think that one of the things I'm really proud about is kind of how our health system has managed that. We've done it in a way where we've kind of looked at the areas where the work is decreased, or folks who have been involved in those surgical or elective places, and we allowed those folks to go out on furlough. We've set up some things to try to take care of those folks. We've allowed them to keep their health benefits intact. And we've across the system seen our senior leaders and executives, take anywhere from a 10 to 25% pay cut. And those funds aren't just going back to the bottom line of the organization. They're actually going back to funds to support our team members who aren't working during this time. So I'm really proud that that's the step that we've taken. And I think that I'll speak for most of our executives. We're happy to make that contribution to support our frontline folks.
Well, Eric, it's unfortunate because you guys are on the front line. I mean, I think of any group of people that has been heroic during this thing, it's our healthcare workers in the hospitals who have saved so many lives and put your own lives at risk. And the fact that you should be suffering this economic pain, if anything, you should be getting hazard pay right now, making more money and having more resources. Are you lobbying for? Do you expect? Are there discussions about government assistance to help our hospitals get through this crisis? Are you seeing that coming?
Yeah, we're fortunate that we've got a lot of good organizations, whether it's the Michigan Hospital Association, the American Hospital Association, some of our executive leaders in Wright Lassiter, Bob Burney, Adnan Makara, that are very tuned in and working with both the state and the federal governments to try to support us as best we can. I think that the reality of that, though, is that those funds are not even going to come close to covering the losses that we're incurring during this time. So it's certainly something that we're grateful for. We certainly know that anytime that the country takes on additional debt to support something, that there's a payback of that at some point. But it certainly helps. But I think that folks should know that we're not going to be made whole in any way, shape, or form by those payments and those resources that are coming to us.
So we've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of physicians, as you can well imagine, on this show since we chatted with you last, and many of those physicians outside of the hospital, working in their offices, have elective surgery and other procedures they've not been able to do. They would like to be able to, they're suffering economically as well. I'm sure some doctors in your system that, your system doesn't just represent hospitals, it represents doctors who are working in their offices around Metro Detroit and beyond. So are you collectively asking for, or will we see at some point the ability to get back into the business of this elective surgery and I hate to use the expression stop the bleeding when I'm talking to somebody in your business, but can we do that?
Yeah, I think, even today, what we're starting to do is look at, we've had now, 6 or 7 weeks of no elective or what we've called non-time or time-sensitive surgeries that have been delayed. So these are folks that have, potentially cancer diagnoses or things that weren't going to immediately pose a threat to their life, but certainly are time sensitive. And I think over the last few weeks, we've started to look at how can we prioritize those things that have been put off. And, I think as we continue to work with the state and the governor, trying to figure out the appropriate timing of bringing those more time urgent procedures back. So that's work that's underway already. Certainly we're looking forward to seeing kind of the next step, as the governor now has extended the stay-at-home order till May 15th, to see what the next phase of that is. And lots of conversations going on about when can we get back to even starting with these procedures that really are time sensitive, things that need to be done as soon as we can. So we're starting that process. I guess I would also throw out there that one of the big worries that we have right now is that a lot of folks are concerned about coming to hospitals or coming to medical facilities because of the COVID crisis. And unfortunately, what we're seeing is folks who really have medical emergencies. They're having heart attacks, they're having strokes, and they're not coming and seeking treatment. And so we really, really want to make sure we're stressing that the hospital is a safe environment. We've got a lot of great protections in place, and now we've got a lot of experience under our belt on how to keep our patients safe. And so when folks need care, they should come, and we're going to make sure that we keep them as safe as possible.
Well, you got a little PR job to do there, and I want to help because it doesn't make any sense. The reality is the people within the walls of your building know more than anybody. They've been dealing with COVID-19 extensively over the past several weeks and beyond, and they know more than anything. And you've got a great facility. People should not be afraid to come there if they need some other form of care. It would be terrible if you folks paid the price, taking care, being the major facility, taking care of people with COVID-19, and then people thought, well, that's a COVID-19 hospital. I can't go over there to get my, to get this or that done. So I'm with you. We will do everything we can. Anything I can do to help get that message out, I am with you 110%. Lower death rates, good news. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think, when we've seen this and as the testing has ramped up in the community, we certainly are seeing more and more folks that, maybe not having symptoms that were COVID positive, and that's a great thing that we're seeing those rates go up. But, the challenge, I think, with this really has been and continues to be that there's not always a lot of rhyme or reason to why one person gets COVID and has no symptoms or relatively mild symptoms, and the next person gets it and it's a life-threatening illness. So again, I think the message really is if you're not feeling well, if you're not your normal self, certainly to have a conversation with your healthcare provider. One of the great things that we have seen throughout this event is that we have really transitioned to being able to do virtual or video visits with patients and their providers, and we've seen huge ramp ups in those numbers, and so it's kind of a new and very convenient way for folks to get care, and so we want to really encourage folks to take advantage of some of those modes. But if you're not feeling well, don't hesitate to reach out or to come by the emergency department, or we're here to take care of folks so that we're not getting to that far end where we're taking care of folks who are going to be in an end-of-life situation.
Well, Eric, can I tell our listeners a story just in one situation like that? So I get a phone call from a very good friend of mine who has been at home with his wife and his 2 daughters that are home from Michigan State. And they've followed all the rules. They've been absolutely incredible. They've not been traveling out. They've been doing their thing. Only one person in the household goes to the store to get the groceries. These guys are great. They've done everything plus. But one of my friend's daughters had an escalated fever up to 101. So called the hospital and said, come on over. And this is Sunday morning. She went on over. She did not even have to wait in line, got tested, got treated real well. Everything went great. I got to check in with them as soon as they get off the air today to see if the results are in. I'm sure they are by now, but I just want to tell you that you got this thing down over there, and they were so happy because regardless of what the result is, they're going to get through it. But, if you can't get in, you can't get the test, you get over there, you're not treated well, whatever, you could understand all that happening. None of that happened, just the opposite. So I just wanted to share that really good story of great customer service by your hospital.
No, I appreciate that very much. And I think we strive even during these times to make sure that, when folks come to us, we know it's not always in the best of circumstances. I had a mentor of mine that once upon a time said, we have the privilege of serving people on what may be the worst day of their life. And so we really try to keep that in mind. And whenever we can make things more pleasant or quicker, we try really hard to do that.
All right. Well, I'll get into medical stuff with more of the medical people, but thank you today for talking to us. And I assume you still don't want people just showing up on your doorstep. A phone call first. If you're in a situation like my friend, pick up the phone and make the call. Call your doctor, and then they'll take the next step with you. Is that correct? Good advice?
Absolutely. We certainly are still got some criteria in place to make sure that we're testing the right folks. As a healthcare system, we're starting to stand up other places where folks can go get tested. So our Bloomfield Township location that just opened up this last fall is starting to do some testing. We're using our center over here in Columbus to do some testing. And so reaching out and having conversation with your healthcare provider, we can direct you to the right place and get you through the process and get you on the road to recovery as quickly as possible.
All right, it sure was a lot more fun hanging out in your parking lot with balloons and sandwiches in the fall, but those days will come back.
We certainly will.
We will be back there. Eric, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
We're so happy to have you in the community, and I'll tell you what, it's really reassuring to know that right down the road is Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield. Great job over there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eric Wallis, president of Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield, checking in with us via Zoom, Tyler. They're doing a great job. Heroes, every single one of them over there.
Absolutely. The work that they're doing is incredible, and they have had such great dedication to the people of our community and surrounding areas that are going into the hospital and getting treatment. It's like Eric said, they're seeing these people often at the worst time of their life. I mean, people coming in with COVID-19 are experiencing some of the worst bodily feelings they've probably ever have had, and hopefully ever will have. And to be treated with kindness and compassion as an individual when there's so many people coming in, that's absolutely huge. And for a system like Henry Ford with that kind of volume, it's great that they're committed to that.
Okay, I think are we going to have Mike on next? I think we do. Yes, okay. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Mike Back, owner of Front and Back Construction, I like that, in Pontiac, joins us. We'll find out what's going on in the construction front. Contractors, especially folks in the residential, commercial, all kinds of contracting, they are looking forward to getting back to work. We'll get an update from Mike, see what's going on with his business, and talk a little bit about what we need to do to get these contractors back to work here in Michigan. I'm Dave Scott. Tyler Keefe, 6 feet away on the other side of the studio. This is the Megacast on 89.3 Lakes FM, 88.1 WBFH, the Biff, WAHS 89.5, Avondale Community Radio, Birmingham Area Municipal Access, Civic Center TV. Let's not forget Civic Center TV, the mothership here. And Lakes FM, the studio we're in. None of this, my friends, would be happening without a million people, not the least of which is the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, who really supports this entire amazing facility, right down to that little mic flag right there. We're going to be back in a moment. This is the Megacast.
Technology like smartphones are wonderful devices to reduce social isolation in older adults. You can call grandchildren, phone friends, participate in fitness classes, and play games. But you need to stay mindful of scams. Scams related to the COVID-19 virus are rising. These include attempts to obtain personal information from seniors, including pitching unreliable products, advice, tests, and cures. You need to stay vigilant and be cautious. If you feel that you have been taken advantage of, it's okay for you to reach out to somebody you know and seek out advice, or even contact your medical provider. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter. Our top priority remains slowing the spread of COVID-19 in our communities. Please stay home, and when you must go out to an essential business, take precautions like social distancing and washing your hands when you come home. Because of the pandemic, we are behind in our response rate in Michigan. While you are home, please take a few minutes to fill out the census. It is more important than ever that we receive money back from our federal government. The census is Oakland Together.
I know you're concerned about the coronavirus, and we're working hard to combat its spread and keep your family safe. But we need your help too. Wash your hands often with soap for at least 20 seconds. Avoid touching your face and cough into your sleeve. Replace handshakes with an elbow bump. Avoid large crowds or events, and if you're sick, stay home and call your health provider. Every one of us can make a difference limiting the virus's spread and keeping Michigan healthy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jonae Khaldun. I'm the Chief Medical Executive for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. The people who are at highest risk of getting severely ill from COVID-19 are the elderly and those with chronic medical conditions. That includes people with heart disease, diabetes, COPD, or those who have compromised immune systems. People who are in those categories should right now be staying at home as much as possible and not going out if it is not essential. If you fit into one of those categories, those are the things you should do. And if you have a family member who fits into one of those categories, you should be checking in on them and making sure they are following those guidelines. There's something everyone can do to protect the community from COVID-19.
All right, welcome back. This is the Megacast. Dave Scott along with Tyler Keefe, and we thank you for joining us. We are doing our best to keep up to date on all that is going on in and around our area, and hopefully construction will be coming back very soon. We wanted to check in real quickly with Mike Back. He is the owner of Front to Back Construction. Mike, thank you for joining us today in the Megacast. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
By the way, that is a really cool name. We love the name of your company, Front to Back Construction, kind of playing off your name. That's cool. What kind of work do you guys?
Yeah, it worked out.
What kind of work do you guys do, Mike?
I do commercial and residential construction, so we do a lot of remodeling. Basically all around everything construction.
All right, we got a nice picture of you on TV the guys came up with. Must have been off your Facebook page. So are you guys on hold right now? You're waiting for the governor to give you the nod? Is that what's going on?
Well, the residential work is on hold. I've been blessed and fortunate to work in commercial, and so we're actually working right now at a commercial building. That building's empty, so there's no one here, so I've been fortunate enough to stay busy.
Well, that's good news, but it's the residential work that has not been able to get done. And I don't know about you, but other contractors have started jobs and then they had to pull off of them, leaving, some of the homes partially exposed.
Absolutely. And it kind of sucks because, you don't want to leave somebody's house open for, animals and, different types of things, that could cause, problems. So, yeah, unfortunately, I have jobs lined up as well, and I had to put them on hold.
Are you doing okay economically?
Yeah, I'm comfortable. I mean, I can say, if you take care of your business and do what you're supposed to, everything's okay.
All right. So for homeowners, we are waiting now. We hope to hear. The governor said one of the first things that they are probably going to get back online is home construction, because you guys are outside and you can keep the social distancing. Can you see that? Can you envision how you guys can do this in a safe way?
Well, if we start, maybe decks and siding and roofing, I think, we're comfortable. But even if the governor okays everything, I still feel there's going to be a lot of homeowners that don't want people in their house.
I got it. And you know what? That's the other part of this whole thing. We come out of it, but people aren't ready to have the work done. No, it's cool. I get it. Anything else I just wanted to check in with you. I wanted to talk to a local contractor. Thanks for taking a minute. I know you're busy. Anything else you want to share with people around Oakland County that are waiting to get their homes back under construction?
Well, I want to say don't be afraid to call people. If you have outside jobs, people are ready to go back to work. My guys are happy to work. I'm happy to work. We're ready to go back to work. I mean, it's been some time now. We really appreciate everybody doing what they can to be safe and taking care of each other. But it's time. It's time to get back on our feet, move again, and get the economy rolling again.
All right, Mike, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate you taking a moment.
Not a problem. Thank you very much. You guys have a good day.
You too. Mike Back from Front to Back Construction. Tyler, I love the name of that company. That is cool. So, hey, they're ready. They're just ready to get back, but everything's got to be done right, got to be done safe. So we got to be careful about it. But there's one contractor who says he is ready to get back to work. Speaking of working, our next guest is a small business consultant, and she joins us via Zoom. Let's say good morning to Holly Francis. Holly, thank you for being patient. How you doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Holly, tell us a little bit about your business, just so we get some background. Where are you? Name of your company, what kind of stuff you do.
Absolutely. Our company is Connect Pay. We have an office in Troy, Michigan. We also have a number of other offices. We take care of small business, payroll, taxes. We advise and connect them to advisors in accounting, insurance, HR. We have dedicated payroll specialists in our office to help them and support our small business
Holly,
clients.
boy, we need you right now. I could tell you, I run a small business. We have our hands full. We got to figure it out every day, Well, what do we do with this? What do we do with that? A lot of small businesses, they don't have the savvy that the very large businesses. And with this whole paycheck protection program that's out there, a lot of small businesses on the first round lost out in the opportunity to get some of that federal money because they just didn't know how to navigate the waters. It's complicated, right?
Absolutely. And that's really what we're here for. Our development team has been working really hard to get the right codes in place to take advantage of all of the different acts that have been put in place. The CARE Act, the PPP plan, obviously the payroll protection plan, or the paycheck protection plan.
Yeah, no problem. So if you could only give our audience one tip today, so your average business owner listening to the broadcast on the radio, watch it on TV, from all the businesses that you deal with at Connect Pay USA, but could you get, and you're right here in our area, by the way, in Troy, and I thank you so much for checking in with us today. What is the one, if there was just one thing, the number one on the very top of our list, other than call Connect Pay USA for some help? What's the one thing that you would suggest to our business people listening today that they absolutely got to get done before the day is over?
Just, taking advantage of the opportunities that are out there, the tax credit opportunities, the PPP plan. They just put more money into it. I think it went live yesterday. So taking the opportunities to get those plans and apply for those loans. We do have, we're here to help. We can advise. We've done all of our research. We have a COVID-19 resource center with all of the information that for all of the plans that are out there and the acts that have been put in place for all the small businesses. So we're here to help. We're offering a small business relief package. We're giving 2 months free. We have a great resource center and HR resource center that we're giving for 6 months for free. The resource center gives you access to. And I'm sorry, I'm just.
No, Holly, you're doing fine. I'm going to help you out. Listen, I get it, and everyone right now is trying to help out. Everyone's trying to help out, and I know that a lot of businesses really need a consultant. They don't know where to go. You can call Holly. She's one of a number of consultants out there, and if you can navigate the waters on your own, great. But not everybody can. And the one thing I'll give my one piece of advice: the one thing we can't do right now as business people is sit on the sidelines and do nothing, because Tyler Keefe is our good friend. Pat Watson at Bloomfield Hills High School says,
hope is not a plan.
Hope is not a plan. Holly, thank you very much. I have your telephone number right here. Can I give that out, or you want to give it out before we say so long?
Yeah, absolutely. 248
Yep.
345 8009.
All right.
That's my direct line.
Holly's number, 248-345-8009. She's very helpful, and you can call her, and she will help you navigate the waters. Holly, thank you very much for joining us via Zoom today here on the Megacast. Tyler, a lot of folks out there to give people the help they need. Hope. Thank you, Pat Watson. Hope is not a plan. You got to have a plan. You want to have hope. We're all happy. We think things are going to be good. We're going to have boats out in the water this summer. We're going to go golfing. We're going to do all these things, but you got to be smart. You got to be strategic. You got to get the mask on, and hope is not a plan.
Yeah, and there are people out there that have various areas of expertise that can help you make those plans. You don't have to know everything and learn everything immediately and scramble to make a plan. You have people out there that are knowledgeable that can help you.
All right, very good. Holly, thanks. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back to check our headlines, and then we are going golfing before this show is over. Dave Scott on the Megacast, back in a moment.
Hello, I'm Dr. Faust, Medical Director for the Oakland County Health Division. Coronavirus disease 2019, or COVID-19, is a new disease caused by a new respiratory virus named SARS-CoV-2. COVID-19 was first identified in December 2019. There is currently no vaccine to prevent coronavirus disease 2019. The best way to prevent illness is to avoid being exposed to this virus. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after going to the bathroom, before eating, and after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces using a regular household cleaning spray or wipe. Avoid close contact with people who are sick, and avoid touching your eyes, your nose, your mouth. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue and throw the tissue in the trash. Finally, stay home when you're sick. For more information about coronavirus disease 2019, go to oakgov.com/health or call 1-800-848-5533.
All right, thank you very much for joining us on the Megacast all across Oakland County. Tyler, I want to just thank everyone for making this show happen. It's very cool. A lot of people have stepped up to help us spread the word across the area, and each and every one of you participating in this program, from all the folks here in West Bloomfield and our whole crew at Motown Digital to the Cable Commission, to our wonderful radio stations, and to you who have gone to our website and our videos and everything. Man, you're doing a great job. If you've not seen our website, there it is. But the website has just a ton of information, and our videos, everyone's watching them. It's awesome. Coming up in a minute, we're going to talk to Nick Lekas. He's a district manager of the Bay Pointe Golf Club, and yes, golfing is back. How's it going? How swamped are they? Are they making it all happen? Are we? I saw somebody didn't really like the governor's order about the golf carts, and they put some dividers in their golf carts. I don't know if that's legit or not, but I've seen all kinds of stories, all kinds of people trying to improvise and make it all happen, and so listen, we're going to go out to the golf course and see how it's going. Lots of news going on today. topping our headlines is a new list of symptoms that you may be experiencing if you have the coronavirus. And a lot of us are asymptomatic. You got to look close. Adding to the list of symptoms, which were fever, cough, and shortness of breath, are chills, repeated shakes with the chills, muscle pain. We've heard that for a while, Tyler, but they're emphasizing muscle pain, headache, sore throat, and this is a new one, loss of taste or smell. Loss of taste or smell. So keep an eye out for those things. If you're not sure, call your physician, get on one of the many helplines that are on our website. Now, if you experience these symptoms, don't wait. Call your doc, call 911, get help right away. Chest pain, persistent pain in the chest, confusion, inability to get up or arouse maybe in the morning. And then look at your face. If your lips are blush, mine seem fine right now, or your face is blush. Let's check Tyler's face. Can you get right up to the camera up there, Tyler? Let's take a look a little closer. Get a little closer. There. Okay, you're fine. If you you blushed lips or blush face, call the doctor right away. All kidding aside, we try to keep it light here on this show but if those are some new symptoms to watch out for. And, I've heard that, digestive issues also. I'm not seeing it on the list here today, but I've heard that's a little bit of an issue as well. Other headlines, there is a new mortgage program in the state of Michigan, the Michigan Mortgage Relief Program, announced by the governor during the press conference yesterday, giving you, if you are a member of or doing business with one of 200 Michigan lenders, giving you a 90-day grace period. So that might be really helpful. We just talked to a contractor. They are looking at construction as being one of the first businesses that might open for residential as part of the governor's new Michigan Safe Smart Plan, or that's a Michigan Safe Start Plan, and that is to get our businesses back in shape. A lot of help has been provided to the governor from a number of people that have been on her advisory panels that have been checking in with her. And one of those people is Gary Anderson, the executive chairman of DTE Energy. Yesterday during the press conference, he explained the purpose for the research and the planning of the new Michigan Economic Recovery Council that he is a member of when the governor talked to the state yesterday. Gary Anderson, DTE Energy.
The Michigan Economic Recovery Council that Wright and I will talk about today has two fundamental goals. The first is to put Michigan on the path to full economic recovery as safely and quickly as is feasible. And the second goal is to ensure that we stage that economic recovery carefully in a way that safeguards the health of our residents and the health of our workers. So the council's job is to provide advice and input to the governor so that she can use our information to base her decisions on how to stage the return to broader economic activity on the very best insights and expertise that can be drawn from the healthcare, public health, business, labor, and academic worlds.
Jerry Anderson, the executive chairman of DTE, on that Michigan Economic Recovery Council. So what they're talking about, Tyler, is a variety of things to open up business. One of the things is trying to open up businesses in zones and in business categories to get the ones that are safer first. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, they have an extensive plan that they've put together for this. Tons of research, a lot of business leaders and government leaders from throughout the state are working on this. It's a comprehensive plan.
Governor yesterday explains how the first industries and workplaces will reopen.
Now, at first, only the businesses that pose the lowest risk will reopen. I have asked business leaders, healthcare leaders, labor leaders, and experts in industrial hygiene to help make recommendations on which workplaces present the least risk of spreading COVID-19. The My Safe Start plan will take into account various sectors of our economy, geographic and workplace risk, as well as our public health abilities and workplace protocols so that we can mitigate that risk.
Makes perfect sense, Tyler, when you think about it. You're up in northern Michigan, and you've got a very low impact of coronavirus, but at the same time, you've got a hospital that's much smaller, maybe doesn't have the ability to respond to an outbreak. But the likelihood of an outbreak is a lot lower. Maybe that's an area where maybe you can start doing some things, maybe some items and business areas that we couldn't do here. They're going to break the state of, I think she said 8 zones.
Yes.
So 8 zones around the state, and then different types of businesses. I think the biggest business here in the state of Michigan is going to be the one that's going to be one of the most challenging. But we have indications that manufacturing is already preparing. Story yesterday indicated that I think it was either Ford or GM has workers back getting the plants ready to open up. And I know those conversations at the very highest levels with the governor are happening with our auto companies. They can get manufacturing running again. That'll be an accomplishment. But I think of a auto plant, and a lot of people in an auto plant, to me, that seems like one of the harder places to get open.
I would agree. Just a lot of surfaces there that are on these car parts, that are on the cars in general. A lot of people that are touching different machines and touching different parts that will be on people's vehicles and different mechanical objects as well. So there's a lot more than just personnel to be looking over for in terms of health and preventing the spread of COVID-19 further.
So we wish them the very best of luck. And, we have seen, certainly, Tyler, some of these Tyson food facilities, to me, somewhat similar, although hopefully the auto companies are better prepared to deal with the coronavirus than they have been in the food facilities. But we're seeing a lot of these food facilities, food preparation facilities being shut down, right? And being a big problem. And I don't know how. I mean, I'm waiting to see. We are curious. I get the construction thing, right? I get the agriculture thing. I can see a bunch of these other people, and I understand what we're doing with the retailers, working out pretty good, curbside, doing all that stuff. Well, I don't know how they're going to figure out manufacturing, but I'm sure they're going to, because they're already at work at it. Plans are in place, waiting, and we didn't hear anything in the press conference yesterday from the governor about specifics, did we?
No, not entirely anything about specifics for the rollout, just that they have plans in place. They have the regional output. They have the industry by industry output, and it's going to be based on the science and the statistics as time goes on for how they roll out each of those regions and each of those industries.
All right. So we will see. We'll keep an eye on all of that, and we will let you know what we find out. Now, let's get back to fun, which we've been focusing on an awful lot during the day. Fun and responsibility at the same time, and that brings us back to golf. Nick Lekas is the district manager of the Bay Pointe Golf Club, and he joins us now via Zoom. Nick, welcome to the Megacast. Good to have you with us today.
Well, Dave, thank you. Thanks for having us on today.
So golf is back. Big sigh of relief for golfers all over Michigan and right in our neighborhood at the Bay Pointe Golf Course. How's it going out there?
Actually been inundated with a lot of golf calls, and people just want to get out, enjoy the outdoors, and take the opportunity to golf. So it's been a crazy last couple days. The governor gave us like a 2-minute notice that she's opening up, so we had to scramble and get ready. So it's taken a little while, but we opened up Monday morning to a very full tee sheet. As of today, too, we have a very full tee sheet.
Well, the weather's perfect. It's a good time to get out on the golf course. Golfers, I don't know a segment of our population that is more enthusiastic about their avocation than golfers. Golfers love to golf.
I agree, Dave. I think the minute after the governor said we could open, we had about 10 calls asking if we were open. And it's kind of hard to flick the switch that fast, but I bet you we had 40 calls that exact half hour after she said we could open wanting to golf.
All right,
so there's enthusiasm out there, and the golfers wanting to play.
So tee times are pretty tight. They're booked up, or can you still get on the course if you want to?
They are booked up if you're reasonable and can wait to take a later tee time, or fit in a twosome instead of a foursome. You can get in, but as of right now, we're pretty full through the day. We're taking online bookings, and they're doing pretty well.
So how's it working? Can you talk a little bit about how golf is different today than it was last fall?
Well, of course, you have the social distancing. We're trying to keep the golfers 6 feet apart. We've extended our tee times on the tee sheet to leave longer gaps within the groups. No rakes on the course, can't pull the pins, no ball washers. Of course, no carts by mandate of the governor. And we're trying to do everything online from booking to paying. And they just come out and start their tee time. There's no driving range either. So it's pretty much just walk up and go.
So you really don't need to go into the clubhouse. You've got it set up. You've got your tee time. You've paid your greens fees ahead of time via credit card. You just get up to the golf course and you take your clubs and you go. Is that basically what's happening?
That's what we're striving for, and it's been kind of an adjustment period for all these guys. You know, used to walking up and paying for it and finding a starter and all that. Now it's a little different era that we're in, where you can it's almost you don't have any contact with anybody. You just go out to the first tee and hit away.
Can I like buy a glove or a bunch of balls and can you leave them out in front of the front door for us?
Yeah, we can get that to you. We can like curbside it.
Yeah, well, why not? Everybody else is. At least we're getting it in economically. I know it's got to be tough. I mean, golf courses make their money on a lot of things, all the accessories and the golf cart rentals, and then all the food and beverage, people coming in and having a beer afterwards, and all the events. So you golf courses are hardly out of the woods here in Michigan.
No, we need about 6 months of these perfect days to help us probably get back to even. It's going to be a struggle for us. We're working on ways to, hopefully get the people out here and to provide a good experience so they come back. Not only we are in the golf course business, but we're in the banquet business, which of course is closed right now. So the hospitality business has been hurting us on this side too. So we're happy to have golf going. We're trying to maximize what we can do here, and hopefully the governor maybe losing some restrictions on carts and things on the upcoming weeks.
I saw one news account. I don't know if you saw it. You probably did. I saw a news account from some industrious golf course, someone applying a little creativity. I don't think it was legal, but they put a divider in the golf course, some kind of like a plexiglass divider or something between the two seats. Have you seen any of that kind of stuff? Or are there some alternatives?
My golf pro sent it to me, showed it to me about 2 days ago. Somebody invented a divider between the two people sitting in the cart. So it's like a plexiglass, like you said, divider between the two. I don't know what the fee of the installation would be, if it's even worthwhile, but that is pretty innovative on their part doing that. And I've also seen like the styrofoam inserts in cups where the ball doesn't go in the cup, so you don't have to touch the flag, things like that.
And then I've also seen, and I know you're not going to be able to go out and make a big infrastructure investment right now, but I didn't realize until I looked online yesterday, but they have these scooters. They're kind of like the scooters that you run around downtown. They're more of an individual's golf cart. So it's like a scooter. You put your bag in the back. Have you seen those things yet?
I haven't seen those, but I have seen, I don't know what they call them. There's like those motorized two-wheelers that were popular like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I've seen those. And I tell you, that's a good idea, but you cannot get your hands on a pull cart if you were, the last thing on earth. Pull carts are a high-priced commodity now, and everybody's looking for them.
So we went over to like Carl's or something. We couldn't buy a pull cart right now.
We looked online. The cheapest pull cart, and they usually range from $70 to $100. The cheapest we found on eBay was $300.
Yeah.
Regular retail prices we saw at $500.
So, well, here you go. It gets back to my first job. Can you bring a caddy with you?
No, you cannot.
You can't. So you can't. Well, that would make sense because you'd be getting too close. They would be touching the clubs, so you couldn't do that. But all right. Well, listen, I'm sure we will get through these tough times here. But at least we're out on the golf course, and I assume you've talked to the people that are at Bay Pointe, and are they happy to be out there in spite of all the challenges right now?
My staff is happy to get back. They were chomping at the bit to get back, and it's a different time, and we're making adjustments, and we're learning new things. But overall, everybody's happy to be back to work. My maintenance crew has been working a couple of weeks. They were allowed to cut grass just to maintain the facility, so they've been here for about 2 or 3 weeks before this. So they've been around. But my the pro shop, my pro is back this week, and he's happy to be back. I think he's going a little stir crazy at home.
Yeah, instead of a hole in one, I think you have to start calling it like a dinger or something. If you hit the pole, bounce
it off the stick.
Yeah, I guess so. If you hit the,
right.
if do we have like temporary PGA rules? If your ball hits a stick and bounces out, are we going to call that? Are we going to call that a completed hole?
We're being pretty flexible. Yeah, it's our objective is to keep the people safe, to keep the people at a distance. We like them to enjoy themselves playing. But just to be aware of what's going on around them and keep things moving, and I think everybody should enjoy it.
All right. Well, congratulations. I'm glad it's open. I know it's inconvenient, but thank you for taking a minute for us here on the Megacast today. And I'm telling you, golf is huge here in Oakland County. We got a ton of courses, private, public. It's such a big part of what our life is like here in the Lakes area. So thanks, Nick, for taking a moment for us. Anything else you want to add before we say so long?
No, but I appreciate having us on, Dave. Thank you very much. We hope people come out to Bay Pointe and get some rounds in, and we hope you enjoy the experience out there. We'll try to make it a pleasurable experience for everybody. We appreciate you guys having us on and getting our word out. Thank you.
No problem. You can give us a website URL or a phone number before you say so long?
The website is www.baypointegolfcourse.com. They can also go to Golf Now and book tee times, and the phone number 248-360-0603.
All right, Nick. Hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right. He is the district manager, Bay Pointe Golf Course, and we appreciate him taking a moment to join us here on the Megacast. We're going to take a quick break. We will be back. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe. Got a lot to get to before we say so long today, so don't go away. More coronavirus, COVID-19 information coming up right here on the Megacast on Civic Center TV, Birmingham area, Municipal Access TV, Lakes FM, The Biff, and WAHS 89.5, Avondale Community Radio.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jonay Caldoun. We know that COVID-19 is spreading rapidly across Michigan right now. The most important thing people can do to protect themselves is social distancing. That means unless you are a critical infrastructure worker or going out to get food or medicine for your home, you should be staying at home. Stay home, stay safe, save lives.
Hi, my name is Kurt Lawson, and I'm the Public Information Officer for West Bloomfield Township. We wanted to reach out to you, our older adults, to provide information that you may find useful during this difficult time. We want to ensure you that West Bloomfield Town Hall, our Waters and Utility Department, West Bloomfield Parks, and our police and fire departments continue to work hard on your behalf. Information and resources can be found on the Township website, the police Facebook and Twitter, or call West Bloomfield Park's COVID-19 Help Hotline. Please remember to keep your social distance of at least 6 feet, wear facial coverings when you leave your home, and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with soap. These precautions will help keep you safe during these difficult times.
And staying safe is really what it is all about. I think, Tyler Keefe here in our Civic Center TV, Lakes FM radio studio. I mean, you got to give people a lot of credit, too. I've been amazed. The last couple of days, everyone's doing their thing. Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's wearing a mask. When we wore masks on the show yesterday, proved to be a little inconvenient, so we'll put them back on afterwards. Did you see that the governor took a little grief during the press conference yesterday because one of the reporters said, So, Gov, where's your mask? And she had to dodge that one. Oh, yeah. But by and large, I think people are really doing good. I know that we are all trying. There's little political battles going back and forth. And, the governor, the big one right now, the governor wants to have the legislature extend the emergency order for 28 more days, giving her the ability to do carte blanche, which she feels is appropriate, so she can respond quickly to a changing situation. The reality is she can do it under other orders that are in place that the legislature doesn't need to approve. Legislature, they want to chime in, have their issues discussed, and then the big thing we really haven't gotten into too much today, but it is going to be an issue that we have to get into, even though it's a little uncomfortable. We got to get our local municipal leaders back on the show over the next couple of days and talk about the economic hardship that all this is going to cost. We had Eric Wallis on today from Henry Ford Hospital in West Bloomfield. Even they are having to cut back, Tyler. We know that, tax income is way down at the state level. We've already heard one of our school administrators say, expect a 500-person cut. That was Dr. Schwartz in Avondale School District. Said expect at least a $500 cut per student in state aid. Our municipalities are going to face all this as well. State has already laid off a bunch of employees, so we have all of our communities have some adjustments to make.
Absolutely. And these community programs that are provided in a good day, they do cost money, and there's budgetary issues that come up during an emergency where you have to prioritize solving the issues of the emergency before that. And it is going to affect that, especially with the way the economy's been hit by the coronavirus. So it will be interesting to learn as time goes on. We've learned how hospitals, we've learned how small businesses, how moderate-sized businesses have been affected financially. How are our municipalities holding up?
They get their hands full, and they, like anything else through the whole thing, they're going to have to put a plan in place, and it's going to be difficult, and some people are going to get laid off or furloughed for a while, but unfortunately, we're going to have to put a plan in place, and we'll be talking about that. Couple of notes I just want to share. First of all, if you were driving on Maple Road, there's construction in the Maple Road Middle Belt area. And then get ready for a big one. Maple Road in Birmingham, they're going to close it down. You can see they got the signs up, and they're doing work in downtown Birmingham. So if you drive through downtown Birmingham every day on your way to the studio and back, get ready for downtown Birmingham to be closed down on Maple Road, and get ready for some alternative traffic routes. Hazardous Waste Day in West Bloomfield, another community note here, for May 2nd has been postponed. And that makes sense. You can't really do all that stuff in person. So Steve Kaplan wanted to make sure, the township supervisor, that we shared that with you often. So look out for those things. Tyler, we always like going through our vocabulary, our coronavirus, COVID-19 vocabulary. You got a minute or so. Let's rip through that. We don't do it to be redundant, but it is a good opportunity to remember the things that each of us need to do to keep things safe, because we are all working on flattening the curve.
Flattening the curve, yes, an effort to reduce the number of cases of COVID-19 and prevent an exponential rise in affected cases.
And we flatten the curve. One of the ways we do that is with social, now we call it physical distancing.
That's maintaining a distance from other people so that you are less likely to be spreading or picking up the virus from them.
I did a very bad job of that a moment ago.
Oh, no.
Fomite transmission. We don't hear that one very often.
Yeah, fomite transmission is one of the common ways that the coronavirus and other viruses are transmitted to people. These viruses are airborne, and they're often on surfaces. So fomite transmission, if you touch a surface and then you touch your face, it's an easy way to contract the virus. That's why you're told, don't touch your face, and make sure you're cleaning your surfaces.
I got chewed out the other day by somebody I know really well. She said, Dave, you got to wash your phone. Hey, do you wash your phone? Do you know
I do. I
how do you do that? You wipe it down with Clorox?
Yeah.
With bleach or with wipes?
Yeah.
I haven't been doing that. I would take
your phone's
that.
disgusting.
Yes. Happy birthday song.
That's a song you're recommended to sing twice over, so you can get at least 20 seconds, if not more, of washing your hands.
Asymptomatic.
If someone's asymptomatic, they may be a carrier of the virus, but not be showing physical symptoms.
So, they don't even know. They're walking around, maybe infecting other people, and they don't even know. We hear talk about asymptomatic people, and we saw the survey out of California. I've talked about this before, but it may be, Tyler, that up to 30% or even more of us are actually asymptomatic. The numbers are pretty big. Pandemic.
A pandemic is a disease, or a virus in this case, that has spread worldwide. An epidemic is nationwide or countrywide, and a pandemic is worldwide.
The new normal.
The new normal is what is our current status quo as a result of the coronavirus.
Curbside testing.
That is quick, expedient testing for coronavirus that usually takes just a few minutes. You drive right up, you get tested, and now within a couple of days you have your results.
Curbside retail.
Curbside retail, same concept. You order either by the phone or by an app or by email, whatever it may be, and you go to the store, you pick up what you got.
Curbside golf supplies.
Same thing. It's curbside pickup with golf supplies.
All right, and we do all this curbside delivery of goods in an abundance of caution.
That's taking extra steps to make sure that you're protecting yourself and others from the coronavirus.
Even though things are loosening up, we still in Michigan have a stay-at-home order.
The stay-at-home order is something that was issued by the state's governor in requiring people that are not doing essential operations or things that are absolutely necessary for their business and so on to stay at home.
And it gets boring after a while, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
The Megacast.
Megacast, it's not your regular broadcast or simulcast. It's a collective of different media outlets bringing you your local information.
PPE or PPD.
Personal protective equipment or personal protective devices. That's like face masks, gloves, gowns, and so on.
Okay, here's one that came out of the show, and we saw it reported. We talked about quite a bit. Coronavirus pandemic dreams.
Those are weird dreams that you're having because of either understimulation by being stuck at home all day and not having the regular stimulation of the regular workday, or by being overstimulated because you're stressed, you're doing a million things, and you're worried about the coronavirus.
I've had the weirdest dreams. I really have.
Oh, yeah.
All right, contact tracing. What is that? We hear them talking about that a lot, especially now.
Contact tracing is the act and the science of figuring out who has the coronavirus and then contacting the people that they have immediately been around recently to see if they have any symptoms, see where they might have been, and try to trace down exactly where the coronavirus may have gone from an affected person.
And here was a really good tip yesterday that we added on to the COVID-19 vocabulary list. We thought it fit in here, and it was just a really good, simple piece of advice. What is our non-dominant hand, and how does that apply?
So your dominant hand, in this case, the best way to define this is to start with your dominant hand. So I'm right-handed. I write with my right hand. I throw a ball with my right hand. My opposite hand is my non-dominant hand. It's my left hand in this case.
So, and the point being with regard to the coronavirus, if you are going to likely grab things with your dominant hand all the time, try to wash that, make an extra effort, and better yet, use your non-dominant hand. Let's say you're going to the restroom. You take your non-dominant hand and you open the door with your non-dominant hand because it's less likely that that's got coronavirus gunk all over it, right?
Well, no, the purpose that Dr. Tawil gave for that is you use your non-dominant hand because if you're going to scratch your face, if you're going to rub your eyes or anything like that, you're more likely to use your dominant hand than your non-dominant hand. So if you're opening doors with your non-dominant hand and you're being extra careful with your dominant hand, you're less likely to be transmitting the virus through fomite transmission.
All right, just another one of those little tips that'll be helpful. Really quickly, let's run down our headlines of the day. New symptoms again for the coronavirus. If you have chills, shakiness, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, and a loss of taste or smell, some of those are new symptoms. Keep an eye out for those. Call 911 or get help if you have the more severe symptoms, chest pain, and confusion. The Michigan Mortgage Program, a new one, Michigan Mortgage Relief Program is going into effect here in Michigan for 90 days. It could give you, not for 90 days, but it could give you a 90-day grace period on your mortgage. Governor yesterday announcing the Michigan Safe Start Plan. We've been talking about it all day today, and that includes all the details that you need to get back to work and how we're going to implement some businesses first and some regions first. Governor asking for a 28-day extension to the state of emergency from our Michigan legislature, and Michigan health officials are now going to start reporting more information on our nursing homes in the area, and then I think really be helpful as you add that data set to all the other data sets, and I'm sure you can be able to find that information. If you go to civiccentertv.com and you go to our coronavirus page, I would start at the Oakland County link, but we have a link to the county, to the state, to the CDC, and to all of the local communities and municipalities in our area. Big thanks to all of our guests today. Huge thanks to all of our municipalities that we serve across the Lakes area of Oakland County and north. Thank you so much to the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, who are the folks that operate Civic Center TV and Lakes FM. We're where we broadcast from each and every day. Thanks for the Civic Center TV channel and all that, and the Birmingham Area Municipal Access channel. Couldn't be doing that without Elaine and everybody over in Birmingham. Thanks to 89.3 Lakes FM, our flagship station. We're in the studio there. Huge thanks to Ron Whittable at 88.1 WBFH, the Biff. Thank you also to WAHS 89.5 Avondale Community Radio. Logan getting ready to hit the button in just a couple of seconds to get back to their wonderful normal programming. And thank you for tuning into the Megacast. We are here each and every day. I'm out tomorrow. It's all Tyler tomorrow. We look forward to hearing from him tomorrow as he has another full complement of guests and helpful information that we know you will find useful. Thank you for tuning in today on all of our great radio stations. This has been the Megacast.